Alright, hello everybody, my name is Rafael Luis, and to start, I would actually share a quote with you from Helen Keller. It says that character is something that cannot be developed in ease and quiet. Only through experiences of trial and suffering can the soul be strengthened, the ambition be inspired, and success achieved. So as a fellow college student, I'm here to share with you how my experiences have led me to rely on three core values through any type of hardship. So, through my experiences, I have found that accountability, optimism, and passion are those three essential core values that play a significant role within my life and within my community. So, going right into it, accountability is an essential and valuable characteristic within any professional or personal relationship. So, for my object today, I have chosen a key symbolizing trustworthiness and reliability. I don't know if any of you have held a sales position before or worked in retail, but there's a position called key holder, and that is when your boss entrusts you with keys to the facility, kind of holding you accountable to do the right thing with those keys. In the same sense, you should hold yourself accountable. And by doing so, members within your community will see you as a trustworthy and dependable person. By being able to understand what is expected of you in any setting, professional or personal, you're able to excel. And another thing that I'd like to point out is that admitting fault or knowing when you're wrong is another key part of accountability. And it's something that highlights your character because it takes a lot of courage and bravery to step up and say, yes, I was wrong, but I will, do better moving forward. So this sense of accountability is essential to understand what's expected of you and kind of get a sense of the actual effort and work you need to put in. However, the attitude that you have while going about that work is just as important, which leads me to my next core value of optimism. I found that within any obstacle or hardship with my life, that being joyful and cheerful was kind of something that I really held on to, that it made the situation easier to handle, and it also enlightened those around me. So for my object, I have chosen a light bulb to sort of represent being that light for yourself and for others. So I'd like to say that how do you be helpful? Or how do you be a light? How do you be positive in all these situations? And something that I have found to rely on is hope. That's something that is very crucial that when it comes to being optimistic. When you're hopeful, you're more positive, more happy because you have hope for something. And being able to create that sense of joy is really essential to a community because when you yourself are positive, other people are able to see that and notice that and maybe even absorb some of that positivity. But I would like to say that you can't truly be optimistic without first being passionate about something because that is where optimism stems from, something that you're passionate about. So that leads me to my last and final core value of passion. And when you're able to focus on what you love, you're able to derive determination to really accomplish anything if you're really that passionate about it. So for myself, my last object is my anniversary ring. It's sort of a personal reminder for me of what I'm working towards, and it's not necessarily like something that's going to be accomplished within the next few years. It's a very long-term goal. So I recommend you to think of something very long-term, something that you're really passionate about, to able to get that motivation to accomplish anything that gets in your way. Because when the work that you do is aligned with something that you're passionate about, it is more enjoyable and easier to manage. Another example for myself, I'm someone who likes to create things, and so I chose to go down this route of being an engineer. And so the work I'm doing now, I don't see it as a task or a chore, but more something that I really enjoy doing, and that makes the work easier because I'm actually excited to do it. And one last thing to note is that, as individuals, as humans, we're constantly changing and growing. So, some of our passions might change over time. So it's very important for us to self-reflect so that we can better understand who we are and identify those passions. And lastly, passion is something that also leads to motivation. And, kind of going back to that ring, when I'm working towards, I'm more motivated towards that than doing any type of work. So when you have something that's long-term and, a really big goal, all this work in front of you becomes lesser and easier to manage. And so just to wrap up here, these three core values of accountability and optimism and passion have helped me shape my sense of character and who I really want to be as an individual within my community, within my personal relationships, and my professional setting. Accountability helps me to be trustworthy and honest. Optimism enables me to find light in dark situations. And passion is really where I get my motivation to get out of bed in the morning and really be enthusiastic about my work. By holding on to these values, I'm really able to understand who I am as a person and how I can fit within my role in my community. So going back to that quote from Helen Keller, I would just like to say that core values aren't something that you just necessarily believe in. They're something that you rely on and build up yourself. So as we leave today, I really invite you all to reflect on your own hardships, your own experiences, and really focus on what core values you relied on to get through during those times. And are there any questions before I end? Alright, well, thank you again for your time, and I'll see you all later.